This week on the podcast, we're joined by Anna, who tells us all about her game project. Green tells us if he's caught them all in his first impressions of the new Pokemon games. We talk about the PC gaming show and stick around for the end because we have some deals for you to snag at the end of the show. All of that and more in this week's episode of the podcast. Green, roll the intro.
I did the thing.
You did the thing?
I did the
Okay.
thing. It was a little weird. The audio,
Sorry.
I could see the audio is a little funky, but I mean, it did it, and it was the long one,
Okay.
the old OG one,
Oh, the OG one.
the
Oh, we should
scat
have
one.
gotten the stats in there. Yeah.
We should have. No beatboxing for us today.
No. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I am your host, Danny K. Joining you remotely, and I am sorry that the air conditioner in this apartment just kicked on. I'm sure that can be really loud. How's it sound, Green?
It sounds okay. I can't.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, it's not
Okay.
horrible. But it's not great either. But it is what
Okay.
it is.
Yeah, we just had like one of like our like biggest upgrades in the show, and then like we're knocking it back down because I have to join you guys remotely. But we're here. I'm also joined by the spooky and the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Greenlee, who is producing the show today. How you doing, Green?
I'm trying my best. That's all I got
Yeah.
to say.
Welcome to the driver's seat. It's not so fun now, is it?
Yeah, it's probably my third time behind the wheel. I'm okay
think
with it. It's
so.
fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
We're also joined by the spooky and the ookly, the Mendacii. Mendacii, how are you doing today?
We're doing good. I might be the second most awake person on the podcast today, aside from Anna, since she is joining us from across the globe, which is just really exciting.
Yes, we are joined by Anna. Anna, for the folks
Thank
who have
you
not
for
met. Oh yeah. Welcome on. But for the folks who haven't met
I'm
you
just
yet,
introducing myself. No big deal, guys. Hey, everybody.
no, go on ahead. I think you got it. Tell the folks out there who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm joining from a small country in the Balkans. It's by the Adriatic Sea, which is next to Italy. I always give this background because not everybody know where it is, but it is a small country, but it's really beautiful. And that's where we're staying right now for the final part of the development on our latest game, Kapia, that we just finished and released January 25th, I believe. So it's out on Steam and GOG, and that's me. I'm the part of that team.
Yeah, so for those who haven't heard about Kapia yet, can you kind of describe what the game is, a little bit of like the story hook, and just some of the work that you've personally done on it?
So I was a designer. Well, actually, let me start by telling you a little bit about our team because we're kind of a special team of family game developers. It's Kapia was developed by two people. It's me and my husband. So basically, half of the work on the game was done by me, and the other half is obviously by my husband, who was mostly a programmer and an animator for the game. And I did the story, I did the art for the game, and some promotion to the extent that I could. Um, so the game itself is an adventure game about a small girl Rennie and her grandfather Stefan, and together they set out on the adventure to solve a mystery of the war between the East and the West. So that's basically what the game is about. And during the game, you get to switch between playing for Stefan and playing for the little girl. And then when you get the whole story, you actually understand the universe that Kapia is. And of course, solve the problem of the war. I mean, you can't go without that, right?
That sounds like a wonderful project. You said it's on sale on GOG right now?
Yeah, right now I think it's a couple more days that it's on sale on GOG, and so if you guys want to catch it, it's right there. I feel it's like 40% off, so that's a pretty good deal for the game. And we will be having Steam sales too. So if you are more of a Steam person, just keep an eye on it, wish list it, and it will tell you when the sale comes up.
How would you say the style of the gameplay is? Is it uh, like a point and click style, or how does that work with the game?
So it's a little bit unique in a way of point and click. I mean, you can say it's point and click at its core, but we decided to go, a little bit modern on it because I mean, you can use controller on it, and it's not going to be like a lot of point and click adventures. They when you start using control, you just basically move the mouse and then click, with your controller. But that's not how our game works. You actually control the character inside the game. So it's somewhere in between, of an old school point and click and modern adventure.
Yeah, as far as Kapia goes, so what I think that I like the most about the presentation of it is the fact that you went with like a post-apocalyptic story, but it's not super dark and down and like depressing. There's comedy elements, and the overall animation style makes it look like a more welcoming world. And it seems like your game has a lot more optimism than a lot of other like post-apocalyptic games, which to me have felt really cookie cutter the past like 15 years. So it was really cool to see Kapia take a different approach to this kind of story.
I'm glad that you caught that because I wouldn't, I don't usually say that it's a comedy game, but there is a lot of humor in Kapia, and I feel that it is, that kind type of humor that you would get in a game that I personally enjoy. So I hope that people who play it will understand it as well, the same way that we wanted to portray it.
Wonderful. All right. Danny, did you have any questions?
Nope. No, I think it sounds like a wonderful game. Definitely gonna check it out on GOG. The only other question I had, because I know we've said it's on GOG, but what are some of the other platforms if people, and is it on just PC or is it also available on other consoles or devices?
Right now, it's just a PC game because we we were in the development for a very long time. Because it was our first game and it was just my husband and I at first, and I mean it was a long development. So we did have some minor problems with porting the game because it's of the Unity versions. So right now it came out for PC, but maybe in future we will have it for consoles as well. But I mean, I can't just go promising you that. So it's something that we do plan, but not 100% of a promise.
Awesome. All right. So yeah. Danny, you have anything else for like housekeeping in general?
No, not really. Yeah, just sorry that we are like or at least I'm joining you guys remotely. There's a little bit of clumsiness that I am dealing with here, but I think we will be just fine. Green, you've had your chance to play some Pokemon, and I'm kind of curious to hear about it. So, have you caught them all? And by them all, I do mean Pokemon and not, STDs.
Yeah. So I picked up Pokemon Scarlet, and Kenna picked up Pokemon Violet. I've actually had more chance to play Scarlet than she has of Violet, just because of schedule and stuff like that. So yeah, I got my hands on the new Pokemon. Kenna actually got me a Switch to play Pokemon. We just had one, and then like we wanted to do like a group thing and like play together, which is great. Um, but yeah, so Pokemon Scarlet and Violet both take place in a new area called Paldea, which is supposed to be like a Spain centric style. A lot of the like characters will like say small phrases in Spanish. Like you see a lot of like hasta La Vista and like yen and stuff like that. So it really gives out that like Spanish vibe. And then they've introduced, of course, new Pokemon. There's three new starters. There's Spigarato, which is a grass type cat Pokemon. Fuecoco, which is a pepper fire crocodile, and then there's Quaxley, which Quaxley is a water duck. So you get to choose between the three, just like a standard Pokemon game. Um, it does have some elements of like Arceus in the fact that it is open world. Like you kind of get ramrodded in the beginning, like essentially like the tutorial, and then making your way into like the actual story progression. It's like your character is a student at an academy, um, but every year they have a what they call a treasure hunt, and that's what sets you out to the open world of like doing whatever you want. Like if uh, there's like three main, essentially main like storylines that you want to do. There's the gyms where you get the gym badges, and then there is a separate one where it's called like Titans, where you essentially battle these unnaturally large Pokemon. I believe there's 4 or 5 of those, and there's 5. And then there's 5 of the team. It's called Team Star, so it's like the OG Team Rocket, but they're not as villainous. It seems. It's Team Star is like members of the academy that kind of just like left because they were getting bullied and stuff like that. So there's kind of like a heartstring tug with that. Same with the Titans. There's like a little backstory with like why you're trying to like fight these unnaturally large Pokemon, which I won't spoil because it's super sad and really hurts your heart. Um, but yeah, as I said, this is the open world concept. You can do co-op up to 4 people. You have to get to a Poke Center at the beginning of the game to unlock that they call it the Poke Portal, which will allow you to do like co-op. And then throughout the game, you'll see like these crystals, and those crystals are Pokemon that you can actually battle in a group together as well. There's a new style or like hook to the game, or a new like mechanic, and that mechanic is called terastallizing, which is like a crystallization of the Pokemon. You have like a ball that will like is charged with Terra, is what they call it, and then you can put that to your Pokemon, and it will make them like a crystal esque. It gives them like a power buff. It's kind of like the Mega Evolution ish kind of thing, but you can do it to every Pokemon. And it like it can change their main type. For instance, I know Roly Coly for some reason will go to a grass type. And then like um a few types will go to like dragon or steel that normally wouldn't be. So it adds that dynamic. Another funny thing is they have Taurus in this game. And the Taurus are fighting style now, which is kind of indicative to the whole Spain thing because of the fighting bulls and stuff like that. So there's like regional Pokemon that like have like a different variation from what we're used to seeing. And there's 2 new legendary Pokemon, Corridon and Miradon. Corridon is with Scarlet, and then Miradon is with Violet. Corridon is a fighting dragon type, and Miradon is an electric dragon type. The interesting thing about those is there's like a backstory going on with them because they're like an offshoot of another Pokemon that isn't a legendary, but it is a dragon type. And I think there's like I haven't gotten to it yet, but there's like some backstory on like why this is, which you will I'm assuming uncover later in the game. So, that Pokemon you actually get at the beginning, but you can't battle with it. It's just like essentially like a companion that you're taking care of and trying to nurse back to health. And you actually ride it like a motorcycle, which is pretty fun. And then like I know at some point you can fly with it. And like I just unlocked where you can like jump farther or like higher up, and I can ride it on water, which is like taking away the whole surf and fly thing. Another thing is like if you're an OG Pokemon fan, like the fly mechanic, you don't have to have a Pokemon that has fly learned. There's like a taxi service now, so you don't have to like worry about losing a slot for an attack that you want just because you want fly. Which I mean is not bad. I like it. It's more convenient, especially like so that way I don't have to like get a random Pidgey to learn fly at the beginning of the game. So all in all, it's been pretty fun. There are some issues right now in the game, mainly FPS issues. So I had the Switch plugged into a monitor, so it's docked, and it's still like if you look in the background when you're doing stuff, especially in cities, any characters like NPCs that are moving, they'll drop to like 4 or 5 FPS, which can be really, really off-putting. It doesn't really affect like gameplay. And then sometimes in the middle of battles, you'll see like the frame rate drop to like 10ish, 15ish FPS for just a few split seconds. So I think this game is really pushing the limits of the Switch so far. And it again, it hasn't really affected my gameplay. It's just kind of off-putting, and I like it. Just feels weird. But yeah, that's pretty much Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Does anyone have any questions about them?
Oh, apart from just wishing that I could speak about my own game as well as you've just spoke of Pokemon, I am curious about your opinion of a comparison between previous version and this version graphic wise, because I mean I've heard people different opinions on that.
Hmm. So I haven't fully played Arceus. Which that's the game I'm going to compare it to. I'm not going to compare it to Sword or Shield because I didn't play Sword or Shield. Um, Arceus has like a different style of gameplay. It's like a survival style Pokemon game. That really I feel lends itself from um Breath of the Wild a lot. Even like the graphics are extremely similar. Um, I want to say Arceus actually looks better. But it's kind of like they took Arceus, like the base, the foundation of Arceus, and then they made it into like an old school style Pokemon game where like you're going and you're doing battles, and it's a good mix, I think. So like I don't mind the graphics, especially since I'm not expecting a Pokemon game to be amazing Unreal Engine 5 mint, completely realistic, I ache to the times of the Game Boy Color or even the Game Boy original, with Pokemon Yellow and Red and Blue. So that's my generation of Pokemon. So that is a nostalgia trip for me, and is seeing that in 32, 64-bit, like generation of art. So like seeing it as realistic as it is now is great. However, it's not a game must. It doesn't seal the deal for Pokemon for me. Some people it does, and I get that. That's why like the FPS issues, like that doesn't really hurt my soul because like I remember back in the day when they went like um to the 3DS, and we're like, oh my god, this is great, but it was in all actuality like maybe 15 FPS, something like that, 15 20 FPS if we're lucky. I don't know the specs of the 3DS, but so like it is what it is.
In terms of FPS, I'm thinking maybe we are looking into something that next Switch is going to give us, performance-wise. Maybe they were planning on a future console.
Yeah, I think the an update to the Switch is long overdue.
Right.
And a lot of people were like hopeful when they were about to announce the OLED version that they were going to do like a Switch Pro, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, that's something that I've noticed as well, from playing all these like new titles on the Switch, whether that was like Shin Megami Tensei 5. That was what I would say was like stuck in the frame rate dimension of somewhere between like 5 to 10 at times, especially when you're on an overworld map. My most recent time with Bayonetta 3, when you have a lot of enemies on screen and you start really getting into doing a lot of the character action combos, you see a lot of particle effects going on. The Switch hates it. It wants to go to sleep when you play games on it. Um, I think that a huge part of it is the fact that, you know, this Switch it's a tablet. Um, but also that it's got to be so ridiculously hard to optimize games for it when the engines and everything that we use as far as assets go for new games, trying to make that work on a tablet, that sounds like you would have to be so incredibly smart in how to make it actually run super well on that. Um, my only other question, as far as like the things that I've been seeing a lot of people saying online, is not it's kind of in the same vein of graphics. What about like glitches, bugs, things like that? I've seen people like jump through the world and get out of like the actual world state box. I've seen people clapping with their elbows while their arms are like rubbery and all that. Really
Oh,
I
goofy
think
stuff.
I think I just saw one where like you could capture a trainer or something like that. That's like what the video looked like.
I need that in my life. Oh no, I haven't seen any of those glitches or bugs myself. Like the biggest thing is like and what I'm actually happy about is I jumped on a rock and the rock was just too steep and I got stuck. And I thought like like I was stuck in a perpetual falling. Um but surprisingly and thankfully they actually had an unstick action. So like I'm sitting there thinking, "Oh damn, I'm going to be stuck here forever. I'm going to have to go like, you know, like close the game and open it back up." And I can't save because if I save, I'm gonna be back at my perpetual falling, and then the screen went black, and then I was next to the rock, which was really great. And I don't want to say it's a glitch, but
We'll
when
say
you're
it's a
in
feature.
yeah when you're in the classroom, like in the beginning, there's like I would say like maybe 15 kids in the classroom at desks. And 10 of them are doing the same exact animation where they're like tapping the desk with one hand and then like kicking their other foot. Um but because of the frame rate issue, it's like 3 FPS. So it's like you see tap, kick, tap, kick, and then there's like 10 of them out of like 15 that are doing this, and some of them are like side by side. So there's like no individuality with like the classroom, and then like the FPS is just hilarious to me. Like that's the only thing I could think like focus on because ADHD esque thing. Uh, during the like I was skipping the text just to watch the kids just slow motion 3 FPS tap kick. So the game definitely I don't know how they would fix it. Maybe like a um I don't know if they could hot fix it or patch it to help.
Right, it almost needs more time in the oven or something like
Well,
that. Like
I,
put it back in the oven.
well it's an I don't know I don't know if they can like optimize it any more than they already have, especially for the Switch. So it's like is this game limited by its hardware is the biggest thing. Um which I mean, I don't give the Switch crap because at the end of the day, it is a mobile console first. By all priority, it is a mobile console first. So, like, how much can a mobile console do at the end of the day? So, but that's all I have on Pokemon. Does anyone have any other questions or?
I just have a question here for the group and for our audience out there, so they can comment this on YouTube or let us know on Twitter. Out of the 3 starters, which one are you picking?
I
I'm picking Fuecoco.
already picked Fuecoco, my baby boy, my little ghost pepper boy. I love him.
I usually don't go for fire starters. Usually I typically go for the grass starters or the water starters. But I mean, Fuecoco is just too cute.
Oh my god,
He's
you
too
should
cool.
when you start the game and you're like getting introduced to the 3, he like, and when he runs, the first Fuecoco, the first the pre-evolution, his run is the cutest thing ever. And then like in the intro, he like runs up, he drops an orange off of a tree, and then like chars it to a crisp, and then like goes to like offer it to Quaxley, and then like tries to take a bite out of it, and but it's just like, he is by far the best boy, 100%. He's just too cute. You can't not pick Fuecoco.
Anna, how about
No,
you?
man.
How about me? Okay, I'm gonna be like, oh, no comment on this because I mean, guys, I'm so ashamed right now to confess, but I played Pokemon in my life. So
That
right now I can just like, slowly hide under the table.
that is completely okay. Some people haven't played Pokemon. It's just like it would be worse if you said you've never seen Star Wars.
No, I have seen Star Wars. I like
Good.
Star Wars. I can still remain here, right?
All right, Danny.
Oh, Coco, but Mendacii, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I just love the awkward water duck, because like you have, I feel like, 2 pretty well thought out new starters. I also like that they have names that feel of the region, like Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and that's Quaxley. Like you just like literally anyone could have just named that Pokemon, and I feel for him. He doesn't fit in. He's goofy and strange. So I think I'm gonna take him because I don't think many people would.
Oh, it's funny too. In the intro video, he like flicks his hair, and he's like, nah. Like, he's trying to be all cool and shit, and it's like,
Mm.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk about the PC gaming show that we just had?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the PC gaming show happened last week. I didn't get to watch all of it. I watched some of it, and then I went back and watched some of the trailers that were revealed. But this show was not super focused on new announcements. Rather, it was mostly showing gameplay and trailers for things that were already announced that are coming in 2023. But there were a few new things that were announced. So while there isn't like a lot of like big news or big reveals, I would say here, I did want to talk about some of the trailers if any of them caught your eyes. I have 2 here that I wanted to mention for sure. But any opinions on the show before we talk about any of the trailers? I think Frankie did a great job. The little bit that I watched, I've been following Frankie on Twitter for a while. I think she's a great presenter. She does great for PC Gamer. So
I'm gonna be
I
100%
not
honest.
Yeah.
I did not watch
Yeah.
it. I read the articles afterwards.
It's so hard to like actually set aside time, especially because PC Gamer is a UK based organization, so they do their presentations um, like in the middle of our work days typically. I'm sure for Anna, they're probably right about on time for like
They
prime
were. I
time
did
for.
watch it. I did watch it in the recording, or at least some of it. But I mean, I did look through the articles and watch the trailers. I wish that some of them were less cinematic. In my opinion, I always want to see more gameplay than cutscenes. But I do think that they had great selection. a lot of Diablo-ish, if it's a word. Let's make up a word. Something that looks like Diablo. It's Diablo-ish kind of games, but a lot of very interesting styles. But I mean, if you guys want to start, because I'm going to mess up the whole system right now, just talking about some things that I liked.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, yeah, what caught your eye, especially as a developer?
What caught my eye immediately? I mean, there were a few adventure games that I looked at, and but something that really felt interesting was I even wrote it down. It was gory cuddle carnage. It was like this cat that runs around the city, and I think it's I came from the world where I actually recall Tony Pro Skater, the first versions come out, and I mean this is like so far away that this type of game has developed, where you have this crazy cat killing everybody with its skater. Um, so that's some skater boy and some other things. I think that horror game, yeah, Oscar. That's
Yeah.
that's another one that really caught my eye.
Yeah, I I remember watching the trailer for that first one. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
But it
Mendacii.
does the
Oh,
job though, right?
yeah, it does. It definitely has a premise that catches your attention. So, in the marketplace of ideas of gaming, that is very high concept and attention grabbing. Anna, was there any other trailers? Anything else that you
Oh yeah,
thought about the show?
yeah, that game, the repair house, that's something that I get really enough in my life, and that's something I would never play, but it's an interesting concept, that of this simulators. I mean, when we started with this goat simulator, and now we get this repair things simulator, that's just a very interesting idea that people don't get enough of this in my life, in their lives. I mean, I feel like I get enough of this in my life, and it's like, you're teaching me how to adult once again in this,
Yeah,
through this
that
gaming
one.
experience.
Yeah, that one. That's from the PC Building Sim simulator team, and I that was the first one that really caught my eye because I'm like, oh wow, this is like it's all about like repairing and fixing antiques, and like they show like fixing a guitar, an electronics console, jukebox. I'm like, okay, this would be like a nice zen game, especially for anyone who maybe isn't super handy but wants to maybe start learning about some of that. That might be like a good like you know entry into it. Yeah, that caught my eye. I thought that looked fun.
I think
Like
it's
these.
I think it's more it's interesting from a psychological point of view. Where we are heading with this simulators and with this universe, or where we with a with a simulated universe where we get to wear our glasses, and where it's all going. I mean, as you said, maybe this is something that has life value to it. Maybe some people will learn to fix a radio and make a profession out of it. Who knows? I mean, they will be saying, "Oh, I owe this to this game." You were laughing at it, and here I am, 10 years later, fixing everything and making a fortune out of it.
Yeah, I especially see simulators. Like, I love the fact that simulators are growing in popularity, especially with the growth of VR. Because I feel like as VR progresses, we're going to see lots of sims hit the market in that VR um,
Right.
that that a lot of people will genuinely enjoy. Like, I would love seeing PC Building Simulator in VR. Like, I would buy a VR headset just to play that game. Um, because I genuinely enjoyed PC gaming, PC Building Sim, on the PC. So like, I would definitely play it, you know, in VR.
Yeah. The other one that caught my eye was Level Zero, which this game like it started hitting a lot of our Twitter feeds at the same time we started talking about it before this trailer was shown or before it was shown here. But it's a 2v4 PvP game that It's like a social deduction game, I believe, where like you have two people who are playing like aliens trying to kill the other players, and the other players are trying to escape. Very similar to like Among Us, but I would say much more similar to Deceit and Unfortunate Spaceman. I just hope that the community for this game does not go the way of Deceit, because holy cow, Deceit had a horrible community. If anyone played it.
Very toxic.
Yeah.
It was so bad that we ended up stop stream. I think as a group, the people who played it with us, we would stop streaming it because we would constantly get harassed, and then we would also have people come in and like start using racial slurs in our chats and stuff like that. Like it just like that's how bad Deceit's community was. It was
Stay
constant.
classy. So classy. The games that I saw, like I was really interested in, was it a Demon School? Looked very interesting, especially for like I could definitely see Mendacii playing that game. It's like a JRPG style pixelated game that looks really fun. The Invincible was another one, and then there was a spy game, or like spy style game. It looked like a let me find the title for it. I lost it. Agent 64. Spies Never Die. And like it, from what they've talked about and what I've read, it gives like a nostalgia trip back to GoldenEye 007 for the 64, which I would play the absolute shit out of. So Chi, what you got?
I would actually add to level zero. When I was watching the trailer, my impression of it was that they had really cool animations. So I was really disappointed to hear that they had bad community or community issues. We can say bad community. I mean, that's ridiculous, but community issues. Some people who were ruining the fun for the rest of us. But the
For Deceit.
animations were absolutely awesome, and I like the cinematic feel of the game as well.
I can agree with that. When I saw the first trailer, it was very it gave off that cinematic like
Right.
creepy darkiness, but like it looked good and it felt good. Mendacii, what'd you see?
Yeah, and just to clarify, Danny, you were talking about the community of Deceit, not level zero, right? We were talking about.
Yes,
Oh
Deceit.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I'm
Deceit's
sorry.
community was. Oh, you're good. You're good. Yeah, no, Deceit's community was not good.
Yeah.
So hopefully level
Yeah.
zero can avoid that.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. As far as everything that I saw, I have my eyes all over the place, and if there's one thing that people know about me is that I literally I try every single pie that I think looks tasty, at least one bite. So there was a number of games that I was interested in. I'm still interested in Nightingale because I really enjoyed that company, that developer team, specifically coming off of Dragon Age Inquisition. And I just really like the look of like a gas lamp punk style world. My absolute favorite, since Anna already touched on Gory, which just looks awesome. That looks like something that could have come from Grasshopper Games, maybe possibly the Mind of Suda 5-1. Just a beautiful neon and blood. It's fantastic. But my absolute favorite of the entire show is Shadow of Doubt, which if you guys haven't seen what Shadow of Doubt is that the point and click mystery solving, like you put the push pins on the cork board trying to put all the clues together, and the world is like a mix of like it's like 2.5D, you know? So like you have I wouldn't even call it like low poly. It's really truly just almost like Minecraft looking, but a little bit more clean, a little bit more detailed and things like that. And for one thing, I love mysteries. I love games that make me use my brain. So puzzle games as well. And then the fact that you just have this really immersive looking world that looks different than a lot of games coming out. It smacked me upside the head, and like I need to play it now. Obviously, Warhammer 40K was shown there. I've been playing the betas, whether the closed beta or the newest pre-order beta for Darktide. And I'll be talking about that in an episode later, which they have a lot of work to do ahead of their November 30th release. Sad to say. I'm not really on board for the Dead Space release, like re-release. I'm not sure if I'll pick it up. I'm a massive fan of the series, but I just don't really think that it needed to be remade. I actually just replayed through it on my PC about a month and a half ago. Still looks great, still plays great. Not really sure what they're doing there. Kind of feels like a cash grab, more or less. But Asuka as well as what Anna had said, Asuka looks really, really, really good. Kind of gives me a Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice kind of feel to it. So that looks great. Again, there's probably more. Redfall I've been kind of looking at, which maybe not. The Demon School, which I can't remember if that was actually the name of it, but as soon as you said it, that's what its name is in my head now. I love JRPGs.
I'm pretty sure it is called Demon School.
Is it Demon School?
Yeah, that's
okay,
what they every article that I read, it was just like that was the title. It's on Steam. Fan release date, you can add it to the wish list now. It's just Demon School, one word. RPG. Yeah, it looks fantastic. It looks good.
Yep, there it is. Yep, Demon School, one word. It's wish listed right now. Which my wish list is getting just ever deeper. And I guess last mentions, Final Fantasy 16. Sure, give me another Final Fantasy game. I'll play another 150-hour Final Fantasy game. Why not? I don't have any time, but sure.
Just gotta send it, man. Just gotta send it.
Send it.
Sleep is for the weak.
And I am oh so weak. Anything else with this, or do we want to talk about some deals you can snag?
That's all I have.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it is literally like days before Thanksgiving. So here in the States, we are going to start seeing a bunch of sales. And I hope that the rest of the world can take advantage of these Black Friday and fall sales. We're going to try to keep up with a lot of them over on Twitter, as long as Twitter stays around. It's always possible that Elon Musk just burns it all down, but that's where you guys can connect with us. But I do have one deal that you can snag here for a few more days that is not a Black Friday sale. It is specifically with your Amazon Prime account. If you connect it to your Twitch, so it's the Prime Gaming side of Amazon. But you can pick up Fallout New Vegas on the GOG launcher. It's the Ultimate Edition, which comes with all of the DLC. It's literally days of entertainment. I love New Vegas. It's my favorite Fallout game. It's also like one of my top 10 games of all time. So definitely pick it up. And when you have your Prime account connected to your Twitch account, you also get a free subscription. So go drop it on Mendacii or Green Elite or any of the fantastic people that we host on the show. Mendacii, do you have a deal people should snag?
I do. A really phenomenal one, actually. If you like Sims, immersive Sims, one of the best, maybe the best immersive sim there ever was, Prey from 2018. That's on sale for a whopping $9.99 on GOG right now. And I think that you should go snag that. Because if you like horror, if you like immersive Sims, it's an all-in-one package.
Heck yeah. Green Elite, how about you?
I'm gonna be very, very basic because we've expressed our love for Hunt Showdown on the show multiple times. But I'm gonna do a general broad thing. Crytek is doing a bunch of sales, including a Crytek bundle that has Crisis, Crisis 2, Crisis 3 remastered, and Rise Son of Rome. That bundle makes it 64% off, so $36.21 instead of $100. And then like Hunt Showdown itself will be going on sale for Black Friday. I guarantee it. But the DLCs for it, so if you want legendary hunter skins, those are already on sale for anywhere from 20% off to like 80% off. So scoop them up while you can if you love Hunt Showdown. But if you like Crytek in general, they have a bunch of sales going on right now. It's on Steam.
Heck yeah. Anna, how about you? Any deals that you should that people should be checking out?
Well, I'm not about
Do it.
snagging. I'm about making deals. No, that's too apotheose. Well, right now GOG has its adventure game sales going on, and it's only like a couple days left, I think. But I mean, if you guys want to go through it, they have a lot of great games, old classics and new games. That I think they have Monkey Island coming onto their store, and I think you can find anything there. And if you're looking for something specific from your developer, our 242 team are presenting our Kapia, and it's 40% off on sale there as well.
Heck yeah. Guys, go check out that game on GOG. Get it while it's on sale, play it, and then buy literally everything that they ever do again. If there's no other deals that people should be snagging this week, should we go on ahead and wrap up the show?
Absolutely.
Okay, starting with Anna. Obviously, we've talked about Kapia, but is there anything else that people should be looking out for you? Where can people find you? All that good stuff. Go on ahead and plug away.
Well, we are everywhere, basically on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. You can find us anywhere, and it's usually either under my nickname, it's Anna Mimik. That's on Twitter, or you can search for 242 Team, and you can find us through this ad. So right now we're working on our next game. So and I am sharing a lot of work in progress videos. So if you guys are interested in game development in general and how it all happens under the hood, you are most welcome in our little community. And so very friendly, and we only have great people on Twitter, which is very rare, but it is. I promise you that's how it happens on our page.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Mr. Greenlee, what's coming up on your channel?
Well, I go on vacation December 3rd, so I'm gonna try to squeeze everything in before then. So like this week, I'm gonna actually try to stream a lot more. Definitely gonna be playing some more Pokemon, the Pokemans, and Hunt Showdown, of course. I think I also at some point need to squeeze some Overwatch 2 in there because the battle pass ends soon. Like I didn't pay for it, but I also want to get the free like I got to get up to level 55 to unlock Kiriko. Because I don't know if like the battle pass ends if you like just don't have the ability to get that that character anymore. I don't know if that's how that's gonna work or not. So I don't want to like test that theory. But yeah, you can catch me on twitch.tv/Mr. Greenlee, and everything else is on Mr. Greenlee, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, OnlyFans, all the fancy things. Forgot about the
Mendacii, how about you?
OnlyFans, didn't you?
I forgot about it. I forgot it's been so long. I need to re-up my subscription to your OnlyFans.
Need those feet fixed. Mendacii, what's coming up on your channel?
Not feet pics. I'm not entirely certain. Like I said before and throughout the show, I've been exceptionally busy. I would love to stream Kapia because I did get it while it was on sale on Steam a couple of weeks ago. Otherwise, I have so many other things, but sadly, my entire life has been being taken up by homework and getting through this beta, which has felt much more like a playtest for Darktide, and it has been a headache and a half. again, we'll talk about that in a later episode. But if something changes, you can always find me on Twitter. Well, maybe not always, but for now, you can find me on Twitter at only Mendacii. And I am looking at the other lifeboats that are available to hop off this boat before it completely sinks. So yeah, you can find out all that information over there.
Heck yeah. Coming up for me, I am out of town, so you can keep up with me on Twitter. I'll be shit posting at DaniCae, DANIECAE. You can also subscribe on YouTube because we have Viarcana coming up. The Mendacii's one-on-one episode was released yesterday, and we have Quasar's one-on-one episode coming out next Saturday. So definitely check that out. And then we will have new episodes of Session 2 coming out very shortly after that. I'm going to try to work on it while I'm away. I'm hoping the equipment that I brought with me will be able to do that. And after that, I don't know. I don't know what I'll try to get back into streaming and stuff like that, but I have been very busy and moving around quite a bit lately. So we'll see what we can do. I don't think I have anything else. I will say if Twitter does like dissipate and evaporate, which I don't know if it will, or if it just becomes too much for us to like not want to deal with, you can keep up with us on YouTube in the community tab. We will post there more regularly and connect with you guys there. So don't forget about that as well. But I think that's the whole show this week. Thanks for watching and listening. Your time and attention is always appreciated. But of course, we're interested in your thoughts and opinions. So let us know in that episode or in the comment section on YouTube, or you can tweet at us at NTNPod. Big shout out to Anna for coming on the show. Thank you very much. This was very fun.
Thank you for having me. It was great.
Yeah, and if you like the show, make sure you guys go on ahead and drop a little subscribe and ring that bell. That helps us out quite a bit. And until next week, stay safe, stay healthy, keep fighting the good fights. Make sure you cook that turkey to the right temperature, okay? Don't get food poisoning. And we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
Love you.
Bye-bye.